करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविडं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव त्वमेव सर्वं गुरुदेव देव. Hari Om. We are doing the Panchadasi of Jayaranya and 11th chapter dealing with the Brahmanandi Yoganandaha. So that means the all Brahmananda is the one that is reflected in everything, and that is also to be yoked by yoga. Now we are talking about the yoga, how one can recognize that Brahmananda through yoga by yoking the mind to that higher. Yoga is yoking the mind towards the higher. So how you should do yoga? As long as the mind is constantly contemplating on that, that is yoga here. And having gained that, yam labdva chaparam labham, there is nothing more to gain. Yam gatva aparam nyayam also. Having known that, there is nothing more to know, because knowing is being here. As a Brahmavid, Brahmaiva bhavati. Knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. Becomes means infinite, because knowledge is not this is infinite, I am infinite. Therefore, he becomes Brahman. And now we are talking about what happens to the Brahma, the yogi, and in the 7, how long I had to contemplate, what is the state of yogi, is all being discussed now. 107. Tam vidya dukha samyoga, tam vidya dukha samyoga, viyogam yoga sangitam, viyogam yoga sangitam, na nischayena yuktavyo, na nischayena yuktavyo, yogo nirvinna chetasa, yogo nirvinna chetasa. Together, tam vidya dukha samyoga, viyogam yoga sangitam, sanischayena yoktavyo, yogo nirvinna chetasa. So tat dukkha samyoga viyogam, that is this dukkha samyoga viyogam. So the detachment from the all the suffering, so disunion or detachment with the association with suffering. So that's how we dukkha samyoga viyogam. So in association with the dukkham is viyogam, dissociation with that yoga sangitam is called yoga. So I am dissociating with the suffering. Suffering is because any ananda is coming from that only. So suffering is my attachments to certain things. I suffer because of I want this and I don't get it, and that's what the suffering is. So whether I get or not, my state is I am independent of what comes and what goes. That means I am reveling in the highest state. That's called dukkha samyoga viyogam. So even the enjoyment outside is called suffering, because now I depend on that. So I don't depend on anything for my happiness. That is the dukkha samyoga viyogam. Yoga sangita, that's called yoga. And vidya, known to be saha, that yogi, yogaha, nischayena anirvinna chetasa. See, that mind that is unperturbed by what's happening in the world. So matra sparshasthu kunteya sitoshna sukhadukkadaha agama paino nitya tan tisissaiva bharata. So by contact with the senses, with the world, I am suffering all the pleasures and pains and all that. When I am withdrawing that and contemplating on that, whatever comes becomes immaterial. So therefore, yogaha nischayena anirvinna chetasa. So unperturbed mind is yuktavyaha, is that state of mind, and therefore it is worthy to be yoktavya. It has to be practiced. For those who not gain that, this is the highest pursuit in life. Therefore, This statement is yuktavyaha. It has to be practiced to reach that state. How do you practice? First understand it and then contemplate in the direction the mind tuned towards that. And that's what is to be done, is being emphasized here. Now how long we have to practice, what has to be done is going to be discussed more. Yunjan eva sadatmanam, Yunjan evam sadatmanam, yogi vigata kalmashaha, yogi vigata kalmashaha, sukhena brahma samsparsham, sukhena brahma samsparsham, acyantam sukhamashnute, acyantam sukhamashnute. Together, Yunjan evam sadatmanam, yogi vigata kalmashaha, sukhina brahma samsparsham, acyantam sukhamashnute. So, the vigata kalmashaha, the one who does not have any vasanas, that means you have to first reduce your vasanas. How do I reduce the vasanas? Through karma yoga, upasana yoga, all that has been discussed in the Bhagavad Gita as a yoga shastra, where they are not reaching the highest, but purification of the mind that is required in order to contemplate on this. So first you have to prepare your mind. So vigata kalmashaha, having prepared the mind and purified the mind, that means your prerequisites in terms of chitta suddhi has been accomplished. So divide off all the vasanas. Yogi sada atmanam eva yunjan. So a yogi, one who is now contemplating on that, sada atma, all the time, atmanam, in the self, evam eva yunjan, is engaging himself in the contemplation of himself. So why? Because he doesn't have any other desire for anything else. So prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmaniyeva atmanatusha, because he is happy with himself. So he does not have any more desires because he is full by himself. And as long as I don't feel that I am full, that means I have still vasanas, and I have to slowly withdraw that mind from the vasanas and invest it by sublimating the vasanas. How do I sublimate? By understanding that's not the way to go to get the happiness. So convincing the mind that's not the path, because if you enjoy it, then you become more and more only. So vigata kalmashaha means removing the wrong notions in the mind that the happiness is out there. And yogi sada atmanam eva yunjan. So he contemplates on the self, because the self is the source of happiness itself. So sukhena, effortlessly, brahma samsparsham, by having realize the Brahman. Samsparsaha means contact with the Brahman. So contact, infinite, you can always be in contact. Contact means understanding that aham brahmasmi. That understanding, atyantam sukham asnute. So the highest happiness one understands or one gains by this process. So this is what you have been searching for, and this is what you will get by this effort. All other pursuits are only misleading pursuits, which makes you more and more depend on something other than where the happiness is. And that is what so this is the very purpose of life itself. And that's what is emphasized here. Now, how long I had to do this meditation in order to reach this? Here it gives an example here in 109. Utseka udadher yadvat utseka udadher yadvat kushagrenaika binduna manaso nigrahastadvat bhavadeda kheditaha bhaveda parikhedataha. So utseka udadher yadvat kushagrena eka binduna. So say kushagrena eka binduna udadhe utseka. So he's giving an example here. So kushagrena, by the tip of the grass, that is kushagra, ekaha binduna, drop by drop, taking kusha with a drop and putting somewhere. So by the tip of that one, drop by drop, udade, the whole ocean is utseka, to be empty. So yadvatu, in the same way, how long I have to practice? Practice just as how long we have to do by taking a drop by drop water, using the, not a big vessel, but the tip of a grass, drop by drop, and you are trying to empty the ocean. That means it will be enormous effort is involved, but is only magnifying the effort involved so that you concentrate on that. So utseka udadhiryatvat kushagrenaika bindunam manaso nigruhastadvat. In the same way, mind has to pull out from the indulgence in that. So that in the same way, tadvatu, so too, manaha nigraham, controlling the mind, aparikhedataha, without dejection, without getting disappointed, bhavit, this contemplation on that has to be done. That means it involves an effort to pull out, because life after life after life, the mind is going out and searching for happiness outside. Why? Because that's how you got into this life also. The very fact that you have this life means you have done in the previous life searching for happiness, and previous life means previous to previous life was there. So from the beginning you have been searching for in the wrong place. So it's a time you have to withdraw the mind from that habitual looking for happiness outside, and it is an effort to pull out the mind because it has an attachments and so on. But once you start it, slowly it turns inwards as you find happiness in that, as we're going to discuss here. Now he's going to talk about the Maitrayini Upanishad slokas, where this has been emphasized, how you withdraw the mind and invest in this yoga. And so from now on, as the Upanishad statement is being emphasized in terms of a practice of meditation in that direction and by the mind, and so that one can revel in this highest. And this is the highest pursuit in life, this is the highest knowledge one can gain, and this is the highest, the purpose of life itself. Therefore, in the Vidyaranya quotes the Maitrayini Upanishad. This is from the Yajurveda, and the slokas from that are being quoted now. Bruhadradhasya rajeshehe Bruhadradhasya rajarshehe Shakayanyo munih sukham Shakayanyo munihi sukham Praha maitrakya shakhayam Praha maitrakya shakhayam Samajukti purasaram Samajukti purahasaram. So together, Bruhadradhasya rajershehe Shakayanyo munihi sukham Praha maitrakya shakhayam Samajiktim purasaram. So Maitrakya in the Maitrayini Akhya means in the Upanishad, Shakhayam in the branch of Yajurveda. So Shakayanya Munihi, by the name Munihi, the Rishi by name Shakayanya. So Buhadrahasya, Buhadrataha Asya, the disciple by name Buhadradhan, Raja Rashehi is the kingly saint. This is Sukham Samadhi Uktam Purasaram. So how to get the supreme happiness has been taught, by how to get the Samadhi Abhyasa, Brahmananda Samadhi is being discussed. Samadhi is either not the Samadhi are talked about in the yoga, but Samadhi means equanimity of the mind, where mind is reveling in that state alone, is the Samadhi. It's not suppression of the mind, but it's a redirecting the mind so that mind revels in that state. So we'll do the Maitrayini, essentially Maitrayini Upanishad slokas now. Who the Rishi name is given and the student name is, the Rishi is Sakayanyaha and Bahadratha is the Rajarshi, is a king disciple, is learning from Sakayanya. Now 101. यथा निरिन्धनो वह्निः स्वयो न उपशाम्यति तथा वृत्तिक्षयात् चित्तं स्वयो न उपशाम्यति यथा निरुन्धनो वह्निः स्वयो न उपशाम्यति तथा वृत्तिक्षयात् चित्तं स्वयो न उपशाम्यति यथा निरुन्धनो वह्निः, just as nirindhano vagnihi, the fire without the fuel. So when the fuel is run out, when there is no more wood burning or whatever, the fuel is gone, the swayona, in the place of its born, swayona, where it is born, upasamyati, it gets slowly down and gets annihilated, because there is no fuel being supplied, there is no more, the fire quietens down or gets annihilated in the place where it's born, because there is no more fuel there. You get destroyed or extinguishes. And the same way, tada vrittikshaya chittam, the mind without the thoughts. Vrittikshaya means the thoughts have been died down, means you are not feeding na kinchidapi chintayet, you are not thinking anything else, therefore whatever the thoughts, you are not paying attention to them, therefore it will go automatically, naturally goes down. Whereas the chitta vritti nirodha in the yoga, where you are controlling so that the mind is not allowed to think, that's a separate. Whereas here, the mind is not being fed, because why is not fed? Because the mind is turning outward. These are interrelated. As the mind turns towards something higher, you are not contemplating on that. This is what we do all the time in any concentrated study also, because when you are sitting for study, the mind wants to revel outside in the playground and everywhere. So automatically you are withdrawing the mind from there and investing the mind into the higher studies, and as you are not feeding anymore the mind about the play thoughts, only single thoughts, ekagrata, automatically makes the other thoughts go away. In the same way, tata ruchichaya chittam, here vritti means dissipating thoughts are gone, because this is a contemplation. So you have to inquire, so tad vijnasasva, you have to inquire Brahman. And how do you inquire? So with the thoughts only. But these are not thoughts about anything else, about the sense enjoyment, about the Brahman. So tada vrittikshayam vritti swayona upasamyati. In the same place where they are originated, they get annihilated also. I gave an example, just like no fire. As long as the fire means, when I am indulging in the sense objects, there it is like trying to put out the fire by using petrol. So more fire will come only. That's why the example is given. Here it's not that way. I'm not putting any more fire. I am only redirecting the mind. 112. Swayona upasantasya manasaha satyakaminaha indriya artha vimudasya anuruta karma vashanugaha. Together, swayona upasantasya manasa satyakaminaha Indriyartha vimudasya anuta karma vashanugaha. So, swayona upashantasya manasaha. So, the mind withdrawn from all the thoughts and become purified, because it's not allowed in the sense it's redirected because of the value that you have put on that compared to other ones. So, swayona upashantasya manasaha. So, mind withdrawn to pure existence or pure consciousness. Satya kamanaha. So one who is desire of the truth. Indriyarthaha. So all sense objects that originally had. Vimudasya. The pleasures and the pains of the sense object. And karma vashanugaha. Those happening due to the karma. All that. So anutaha are seen as mithya. There is no real reality to the sense objects and the sense happiness that I am getting, because even that happiness that I get from outside is only from Brahmananda only. I am only indirectly trying to get the same ananda. So there is no point in indulging unnecessarily, because trying to gain is a problem, trying to preserve is a problem. If I lose it, also another problem. That's called dukkha mishritatvam. Is always mixed with the suffering only. Once I realize there is no happiness out there, what is the point in going after it? So we invest the mind somewhere where you can get happiness. So that's called reinvestment of the mind. So therefore, because you say anrutaha means they are not really real, means they are false, and that's called mithya. So you recognize the world is only mithya, sense objects and self pleasures are only mithya. Mithya means they are only temporarily, there is no permanent happiness there, and that's what it is being recognized. 113. Chittame vahi samsaraha tat prayatnena sodhayet yachittastanmano martyo guhyametat sanatanam chittame vahi samsaraha tat prayatnena sodhaye yachittastanmano martyo guhyametat sanatanam chittam evahi samsaraha. So here the mind is the source. Chittam eva hi samsaraha. The mind itself is the source of samsara. Here, tat prayatnena sodhayet, and should be purified by deliberately meeting. This is called mind is conditioned. That's what J. Krishnamurti talks about. This is because of the mind is involved in these pursuits, and it has to be purified by mind only. So uncondition your mind. How do you uncondition mind? I have to use this conditioned mind to uncondition the mind. How do you do that? Don't ask me. That's what J.K. says. Because if you ask me, then you follow another conditioning. Vedanta says, you can ask me. Why? Because you got deliberately impurity by deliberate process. There is a deliberate process to remove also, and that's what is called karma yoga. And once you have purified, then you can observe your mind. That's what J.K. says, observe your mind. Because if I try to observe my mind, I ran away with the mind, because mind is not purified even to observe and stand apart. So chittamayeva hi samsaraha sat prayatnena sodhaye yat chitta tanmayaha. So tanmayaha, in the process of identification, tanmayaha martyaha guhyametat sanatanam. So yat chitta tanmaya. So whatever is the process of identifying with that, it assumes the object and it becomes one with the object. So martyaha guhyam etat sanatanam. That is from the beginning. This is from the ancient. It is known that what happens whenever I think of an object, what happens? Mind identifies with that object as I am this. Because when I say I am this is the ego, and I am this is ahankara, and I want this is mamakara. So ahankara, mamakara is the problem, has been known from the beginning. How does it occur? When I say I want this, So when go after object, this has become mine. Means ownership is a thought in the mind. It has become identified with the ownership, and that's what essentially is talking about identity. So that tanmayaha. So identification with the object as this is mine is the problem, and that has been known sanatanaha. From the old people know that this is the problem, and therefore the human beings suffer only because of this. So that also they know. So one has to withdraw this. There is no other alternative than this has to be done. 1114. Chittasya hi prasadena antikarma subhasubham prasannatmatmani stitva sugamakshaya masnute together. Chittasya hi prasadena antikarma shubhashubham prasannatmatmani stitva sugamakshaya masnute. So chittasya karma shubha ashubha karma hanti prasadena. So by the chittasya karma shubha ashubham karma. So the either good or bad actions, shubha ashubham karma, chittasya of the minds, that means all the vasanas in the mind. So hanti prasadena, by the grace, it slowly gets improved by this constant, the longing for objects. That is essentially the result of the previous actions that leaves the vasanas. So this becomes the karma janita. Vasanas are subha ashubha, or vasanas are slowly annihilated, hanti, by the practice of the higher reality. So that itself purifies some, because Ishvara, the karma yoga and all that are also purification of the vasanas only. So this is a jnana yoga, purifies the rest of it. So results of the purification of the mind, the improvisation of that. Prasanna Atma, that means one mind which is calm and quiet, because no more perturbations in the mind due to sense indulgence. I want this thoughts are made. Atmanistitva, that purified mind is abiding in the Atma. Purified mind is in the contemplating on oneself. Once you abide in that, Sugam Akshayaha says Ashnute, that unchangeable, the happiness that one enjoys, the bliss Ashnute, he enjoys the unbroken happiness, and this is infinite happiness, not directly, because immediately, directly rather than going around through objects, you are going to reach the highest state. That's essentially is being discussed here. So he is glorifying the jnana yoga, and also the brahmananda that one can gain, so that this is the effort that one has to do it. 115. Samasaktam yadha chittam jantor vishaya gochare yadjevam brahmani syad tatkona muccheta bandhanat together. Samasaktam yada chittam jantor vishaya gochare yadjevam brahmani syad tatkona muccheta bandhanat. So samasaktam yada chittam, just as the mind has focused on jantur vishaya gochare, on the concentration of the objects right now. So I am going after this and this. Yadjevam, in the same way, Brahman is syad. Once I focused on the Brahman, Tena kena muccheda bandhanat. So what more bondage is there? Because bondage is only I am going to depend on something other than myself, on the objects for my happiness. But once I recognize the happiness is coming from my own self, then I have no bondage. So I have no more longing mind or a wanting mind or a desiring mind is not there, because I am full by myself as I am. Therefore, I am not searching for happiness. Therefore, there is no bondage anymore. I am liberated in the sense. Therefore, there is no other liberation other than that. So, this is where we stop here and we'll continue. So, he is glorifying the Brahma Vidya and this pursuit for Brahmananda through Yogananda. So, this is the Yogananda of Brahmananda. The title is being now is emphasized by the process of yoking the mind, which one gets in the deep sleep state, one can get in the waking state by effort, by yoking the mind. And this is the topic that's going to be completed in the few talks. With this we stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.